which doesn't mean that you can...
Please. I'm not Parson of a parish. I'm an aging rock star from the 60s.
Oh, damn.
You don't seem to realize what I've gone through. I want to be left alone. I want to be alone.
Daddy, have you forgotten everything that we had together in the parish? All the great things we had at the parson's, all the beautiful, beautiful anointments we had, the fantastic...
I never let a woman anoint me in my entire life.
Well, Daddy, not really.
Except that mistake at the spa outside of Rienzi.
Daddy, how can you...
Well, I couldn't help that.
How can you forget the parsons?
That's my first marriage, Rienzi marriage, during the massage. She had the priest waiting outside. She knew I had interest from a small trust. That was before I took up rock.
Oh, really?
But Daddy, this
Yes,
was...
remember when I took up rock?
This must
You
be...
collect all the memorabilia.
This must be...
This was over a decade.
Because I'm over a decade.
Yes. Well...
You followed my career, Puck?
Yes.
Because I've heard
To
of
the
you,
hill.
you know, and I knew you collected.
Yes. I didn't know, little Puck, that you heard about him when you lived in the werewoods of Glasgow. I had no idea. Really, and you didn't tell me before.
Well, listen, I know what you heard on Rona Bearer, and that's why you're here. You heard that I had 6 million stashed away, and that's not true.
Daddy, do you think what kind of money you have, what sort of gold you have hidden in the hills, that I care, that I would go and search for it? How can you think about me like that?
No.
Me, your little Titania, child of the woods, the mere woods. How can you think of me, Titania, queen of the fairies?
Gypsy Rose Schwartz did me out of 5.5 million. I only have 500 grand left. And I'm living off the interest of that, and I'm not taking a dime out of the bank. But I'll tell you what I am going to do, and this is just between us, entre nous. I'm going to do one of those TV things in which I promote a 498 2-album record of best hits of the 60s, and we're going to interrupt all those great films, the Bette Davis, the Orson Welles films. We'll interrupt them 10 times a night. 10 times a night. No matter how great a film they get on television, we'll interrupt them every 5 minutes. You won't know what the plot is by the time we get through and I get my money.
Daddy, you must watch your head.
Remember that old tune I did? Well, that's what I'm going to introduce it. Come on, folks. Get together. This is your old friend, La Rue Poon, doing his old number called Rock, 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 Rock. Buy 498, 497. Send for your album. Call Plaza 8470452. Call Plaza 8470542. Call Plaza.
I heard what you did to my friend. You turned him into a little dwarf. How could you do that? Your fury. I know just because you're parson of the parish and everything, you didn't have to turn him into a little dwarf.
I hate
you. He was so beautiful before.
Where did you find it?
I found him in the woods. I left him.
Thank God there's some fresh meat around the house.
Daddy.
Jeez, I've had no one waiting on me. I realize I have been too much alone. I'm glad you showed up, dear.
What happened to our mate? You know, the little plump one and the sort of in-between one and the little teeny-weeny one? Where are they?
Isn't she still amongst of the furniture?
No, I thought that those were 3 new skeletons you had hanging in
You are
our
a good old hat. How much do you have in the bank?
I forget.
I hate
If it's money you're after, go suck a duck. You know? I've been through the 60s. I went through the 60s as a star. I played at Albert Hall. I granted it was half empty, but nevertheless, I got 50% of a half-empty Albert Hall, which was enough to put me on easy street, send me to Scotland, and get a small castle. And I intend to hold on to those few possessions I got. And just because some daughter comes in here and tells me and reminds me that I was once a parish priest, and brings in you, little pup, to try to seduce me into breaking my trust and dividing up the 500,000. Forget it.
Father Flanagan, you always had a heart.
Forget it.
Didn't you recall?
Rock stars really suffer. You people out there don't realize. You know, you may be annoyed by all the interruptions we give on the Betty Davis movies, on Jezebel and Orson Welles' Citizen Kane and all the classics, but we really need the money, you know? For God's sake, we work so hard, the tours, you know, we travel all night on a bus just to get to the next town, and then we go to a hotel room and they're surrounded by strangers. You know, we suffered enough. Why should you suffer now? Huh?
Here, take
You've been sitting doing your job from 9 to 5 every day, going down to the banks, taking out money, and doing the normal thing. Or we've had it. We've had the hotel.
They think it's easy work, do they?
You travel with the Beach Boys. You know what it is. Motel rooms, bus rides all night in order to get to the next day.
Beach Boys. I don't want to hear about Beach Boys. Get out.
Who are you?
Who are you?
Lima!
The daughter.
Oh, my whole past.
Yes, how did you know? You've been reading the paper, as I say.
Lima.
You little opportunist, you.
Well, I'm glad.
Oh,
Sit down.
glamorous, lovely Lima.
It's
Hello,
me,
my
darling.
dear.
I'm back.
There's the Star of India I gave you when we were staying at the hotel in London. We had to keep the dogs on the boat.
No, darling, this is the Star of India.
Oh, no.
This is the Star of Iran. Remember her? Now
Well,
listen, Daddy.
Where's the Prince of Iran? I mean, he's one that's rather attractive.
Daddy,
Yes,
I'll
Lila.
come back to you at long last.
Yes, Lila.
And I have a slight favor to ask of you.
A slight
I
favor.
know you won't refuse me, Poopsie.
Yes, you watched the Rona Barrett program. You heard I had 5 million or 6 million.
No, not at all, but Rona's one of my closest friends.
Then you didn't need to
And
watch.
she told me
Yeah.
that, well, she told me that you've been looking very lost and very lonely. And I decided to come in from the blue to cheer you up. Remember you used to call me your little blossom girl? Or your big blossom girl?
What year was that, honey?
1968.
Oh, 1968.
When I was girl of the month.
Was Truman president?
Malibu Beach.
Who was president?
Sukhanov.
And what was our relation? Were we married?
Darling, don't you remember?
Oh, well, I remember I gave you the Star of Indonesia or whatever that I got from Premier 2.
And you were
Premier
supposed
2,
to be the star of Hollywood.
Premier 2 sent me that parcel post. You know, we felt that that was the best way to get it out of Vietnam.
Well, I'm out of circulation now.
You're out of circulation,
My last pictures were flopped.
and you want to come back and stay with me?
Yeah.
Well, do you
If
see
you wouldn't mind.
Well, do you see who you're sitting on?
Oh, yeah.
Do you see his body? Do you see his tits?
I've seen that before.
I mean, I realize you have pretty
you
good
see
tits
mine?
too. Yeah. I mean, you both. It's a race of tits
And
tonight.
I've been
I
in
can
it.
tell you.
And I've been
I've never been so inundated. You know, I've been alone for 6 months. You're on a diet?
That's why I came back. Rona told me that you were alone.
Oh.
And looking very forlorn on that.
No, I'm just trying to get a perspective on my past life, you know, on the 60s. I'm already into 73, and I don't even know what happened in the 60s. You know, I'm thinking of going back on speed in order to do this record thing for the TV program.
You don't do that. It destroys all the vitamin C.
Well, listen, dear, I just want to tell you know, you're the number 2 wife. I mean, you were number 1, of course. You're always number one, but I mean you're the second one to arrive now. I just want to tell you that Rona Barrett's thing about my having 6 million is a lie. Rona exaggerates.
Daddy, I have to report.
I mean, Rona's a dear. I love her. I think she's got one of the zippiest programs on television. But her story about my having 6 million is erroneous. You know.
Well, what happened to all that money, darling?
What happened to that money?
Yes, all the money that you're getting for selling those cheap records.
It's in trust.
To who?
I don't know. Some famous entrepreneur said put it in trust. I don't know who gets the interest.
Do you know what happened to the money, darling?
Yes.
What?
Well, you can forget about him. The cut was enough. I have the money.
You do. Come here, darling. Your knees are so bony. Why don't you rest on my lap for a while?
Certainly.
Darling,
Wait, but
what are you doing?
What are you doing? The money. The money has been spent.
Forget the money.
How could we forget the money?
Listen, darling, I have a fabulous new business deal.
If I
Really?
My lawyers have been talking to your lawyer, and they decided to produce one more picture for me. This time I play a jungle goddess. The only blonde in darkest Africa.
Listen, you may think that this, because I live in Beverly Hills Canyon Drive, that I have money. Beverly Hills Canyon Drive is cheap real estate.
Well,
Because all our houses burn down every other year when the dry season comes.
But darling,
You know
I
what
live
I'm
in-
living on? $75 a month.
Darling, I live on St. Cloud Road in Bel Air. But we have mudslides all the time, and that's how I lose my money. And the forest fires.
Yeah, the fires.
The forests are. Oh, you live on St. Cloud
I live
Road
on
in the
Street.
Bel Air? And where?
Mm-hmm.
Next to Wally Cox? You killed Wally Cox.
No, that's not true. darling.
Yes,
It's a
you
vicious
did.
rumor.
Oh, you did. I
That's-
saw you. Everyone saw you coming out of his house in a taxi, racing away, and Claude Rains was
Oh,
at the
that's not
wheels,
true.
playing an organ in front of the taxi. You know, taxis come equipped with organs now. Whole thing,
What are
8-track.
they playing?
He was playing
Bach,
an 8-track organ.
Beethoven,
Bach,
Brahms.
Beethoven, Brahms, all those rock stars of the 50s.
And
Well,
you heard
Madonna, do you have valid evidence of this?
he's got varicose veins.
The hell I have.
Really? Too much
That's
carbon.
a scar from an attempted assassin last night on West Broadway and Broome Street. God, how I suffered. You don't know how rock stars suffer. Pain, pain, pain. That's all it amounts to. Is
Darling,
suffering.
when have you had your last pedicure?
Well, at the Holiday Inn, the girl
I see
came.
you have a tattoo.
I don't have a tattoo.
What are all
on your
those
heel.
scars on your leg?
Those are from crawling through the streets begging for money for my ex-wife.
Wait, what is this? Where's the checkbook?
This is ridiculous.
Really? Where's the
I
check-
think I will cut you in for $1 million. But you wait till the this is where I interrupt all the great movies and say buy my album for $4.98. I'll tell them they'll just wait. If you know,
We're hungry.
if you just, I've got this song coming up that's gonna put me back on the top of the charts.
Oh, you're all washed up. I hate to tell you.
No, wait, listen to it. Listen to it.
We'll give it
Zippy, zippy, doo doo. Zippy, zippy, da. Zippy, zippy.
Oh.
Rock on the clock, zippy zippy doo da, cock 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 da, cock da, shit shit, boom boom boom, Lou Reed, ha cha cha, boom boom, Bette Midler, coo coo coo, rah rah rah, the dolls. Oh, and listen to Wayne County, and you can't. Is that going to make it? I put every name possible that I could drop into the song. You know, it's a
Believe me.
formula song, I'll admit, but I think it's going to make the top of the chart.
Well, who's gonna sing it?
Doesn't matter who I'm going
Well,
to
we
sing
wanna
it.
sing it.
All
We're
right,
young.
let's
We
all
wanna
sing together then. poo-poo, rock,
We don't
rock.
know the word.
But just improvise first, and then you get into it.
Darling, I've been improvising most
Listen,
of my life.
sing
Really
along.
get me.
Darling, I'm back. Aren't you happy?
Oh my good Mona.
Darling, I hardly recognize you.
Mona,
She.
Mona Freeman.
Are you just back from Milano?
My
Yes, I
fourth
just got
wife.
in a few days
I
ago.
saw you on the cover of so many
Well,
magazines.
I saw you in your latest movie. You were
Did you?
fabulous. It's so good to see you.
The story of Rona Bear.
Unfortunately, you must have been in Connecticut because my last picture only played in Connecticut on the double hat of a...
She's the one who
Drive.
burned down my house in Connecticut.
She did
Now
not.
you
Thinking
know
I-
it
You
wasn't
always
me.
smoking.
Do you know the
That's not it.
the insurance had lapsed. And I didn't get that. You burned it down so I'd get all this insurance money, but the insurance, I let the policy lapse. It was a total
Why
loss.
did you let it lapse?
Oh, you fool.
Because I was interested in some of the people around town, and I kept
Where was your
walk-
business
Who were you
manager at the
interested in?
time?
in Greenwich, Connecticut. I kept cruising up and
You
down
live in
town. They
Greenwich?
arrested me. They put me in
didn't live
in
in
old
Greenwich.
Greenwich jail for 60 days, and I didn't have time to pay my insurance agents.
You
That's
tell
why-
me out to lunch.
We didn't live in
Music near,
Greenwich.
I think.
But you visited the house. You knew
It
where
was
it was.
Darien that we lived.
Yes, but you were always smoking in bed.
That was the Dairy Queen.
That wasn't
where
me.
you went.
It
for
must have
lunch
been
every
Lila,
day.
maybe.
Someone used to smoke in bed. I remember that. I remember that. Call the doctor and tell him I remember someone used to smoke in bed.
Darling, what's happened to you? No one ever used to smoke in bed.
Well, I have an idea. You visited Darien or Greenwich or wherever it was.
We lived in Darien.
We lived in Darien.
What are you doing?
Oh, he's got this silly thing. He's trying to make another record, Nancy.
Oh, no.
I mean, isn't that a foolhardy thing to do?
I think
I mean, it's so hard.
I
to-
think if I put a little hair gloss on it and some
Heard last night. I
deep in
know.
my eyelashes.
Mother Bear. And you're making a comeback. Darling, I came back because
Because of
Well,
the comeback.
I guess Lila feels the same way, but I'm willing to marry you again.
Well, I'm looking for your checkbook. I'll be right back.
Where are you going, Puck?
Never mind him, darling. We're here now. We're here to protect you.
Huh.
And
Here.
take care of you and mother you and love you
We
to
need-
death.
Listen, I've joined the Krishnamurti group of Beverly Hills Canyon.
Well, we've joined the Christian
Darling,
Science group.
we need some money.
No,
Money in the
You have
bank.
it, darling.
Only-
You owe me money. You owe me money. Say
Darling, would you rather see me or my ugly dog face?
Think not of material world. Think only of the
Oh,
heavens
sure,
and the
that's what he
earth.
says
and
when
the
he's
everything.
promoting
This is what
his
he-
cheap
Bala
record.
bala bala bala, chala chala la 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 bala bala bala, chala chala. Forget Rona Barrett. She doesn't know shit from shore.
But she knows the shit from sheep.
Well, listen, if you'll just be patient, my new record.
Patient. How long is patient? Those 10 days we spent together on our marriage?
And,
Isn't that patience?
There's patience.
and darling,
found your
we're
checkbook.
Don't forget, we were
an airline
married for 2
ticket, just
years,
what I
even if
need. Lila,
if
a couple of
20
airline
months
tickets.
of those 2 years was spent filming.
You're all arriving within
Oh,
24
Mexico, you
hours.
wanna go?
Darling,
know
I'd
who's
love
down
to. They've
there?
been dying for me
You know
down
who's
there.
down?
Who?
The other husband.
Rock, rock, rock.
Did you marry him
Just-
too?
Would you sign the check?
Right.
2 tickets. We could go.
chaka.
Why not?
Rock,
Hey, what happened to your toenails?
He
What
needs
did
a
you
pedicure,
do?
darling. He's not been taking care of himself.
What did you do?
I'm
Where'd
hungry.
you
Would
get
you,
that
would you
done?
make out a check for,
well, drugs that
uh,
kill your toenails.
just 1,000?
Make it out to Chasen.
Jason's. Now you got, this is the post-dated check. I'm sorry. This is
Oh no.
dated. Not,
Dated for today, darling.
No,
Later
Data.
this afternoon, we have to go. We're hungry.
Darling, I'm meeting Dean Martin. We're going to be a couple of gold diggers.
Which of you is spending cash, you know. You're used to
Who
this.
do I make it out
Jason's restaurant.
Chase?
We're going to go
to?
and look for some producers.
Lila come? Or Jason's restaurant?
Jason's restaurant.
Pay to the order of Lila come.
No.
And then I'll put a note on, Dear Joe, this check will be
darling,
good
it's
in a
the
week.
check.
Daddy! Daddy! How can you be here with these women after you refuse me my one and only boyfriend, little pup from the Weirwoods? How can you?
What are you doing? Excuse me, but
Look at this. It's disgusting.
excuse me. I'm still your wife right now. What are they doing here?
I thought she was my wife also.
No, let me...
I'm his wife.
Which is which?
I'm his
You're
wife.
Rona.
We were married
We
to
were
each
married.
other. I
Mona.
never got a divorce.
Martin signed over the fortune to me.
But I haven't been
Wait a
divorced yet.
second.
I want to marry my new
No, they
boyfriend.
wouldn't have let us get married if you.
Oh, yes, they would. But, darling, don't you understand? You can get
Daddy,
married.
think of all the
But it's not legal
grandchildren
because
we'll
he was
have.
married to me first
It'll
and
be
Wait
then
a
to
second.
her.
I don't believe any of this
Oh,
because they
little
wouldn't have let it
puppy,
happen
little
if you were still
Darling, I
married.
don't want to be married to him anymore. I promise you. I want to marry somebody else. But I had to get a divorce from him. That's why I'm trying to get him back on my good side.
I don't know. Now, why don't you tell me the story? Tell me, were you really married to her when you married me?
Listen, Ted.
Tell me, please.
Outlive it.
Daddy,
Tell
it's
them
a
you're a
happy
Mormon.
family
You're
now.
a Mormon and
You
a
had to-
bigamist. He's allowed 2 wives.
Mona Candy
and Mona.
was
Yeah.
one of my
That's
first wives. I
According to the
remember
Mormon
that.
religion.
Yeah.
Really, we're his legal
You,
wives and you're
you,
not.
Susan,
You are
were
illegally
also one of my
married.
first wives.
No, she wasn't.
I'm your latest wife.
And Dusty Rhodes here, she
So
was
wait a
one of my
minute.
first
Dusty
wives.
It's
Rhodes.
not
Isn't
making
that
sense.
Small.
Only
And
one can be the same.
Consuelo Poo Poo Padoo. I remember the bar in San Antonio, Texas, when I was crossing the border trying to bring some stuff in. She was there in the bar, and I don't remember whether I married her, but if she says I did, I did.
All right, but when we were married last June, were you really still married to them?
Why not?
I mean, that whole way.
I mean, there's gonna be so much money after I do this TV special called Rockaboopa She's interrupting all the best
You
movies
know,
on TV.
you
Let's all sing our own song.
Do it, make marriage before, darling. Do it, we married you.
I want you all on the program.
Do it, darling. Do it for us.
I want you all on the program.
Let's
So
sing
let's
it.
each do your own number that you want to do with me,
Okay.
and you're on. All right.
Daddy
First,
was signed.
Mona from Pomona.
No king or star, no Dempsey or Jane Tonic, no movie star, his face is kind of funny. No lock and bar, but gee, the guy had money. That Mr. Man of mine, he loved me so, and oh how well he knew me. When I was low and feeling sad and gloomy, he'd always know and bring home diamonds to me. That man of mine. Once he was a big shot, swimming in cash, champagne and roses all around. Yeah, he was a big shot. Then came the crash, and Pedro came tumbling down.
Oh, God.
Now, Susan, would you do your number? Because I think it's going to all work in. We'll wreck the movies that appear on normal TV channels. We'll really
These
wreck.
legs, you're really
Now,
right.
new name of our family show is the Stonehenges.
No, we're all doing our song. It's your song, Susan.
All right.
Remember the song at the motel?
I love you. Oh, yes, I do. With you, I am never blue. I love you. Oh, yes, I do.
if we get the Johnny Mann singers behind you, we'll get that in too. Don't worry. We're all going to get
It had the
residuals.
sentiments.
We're all going to be on Sleazy Street. Now it's your turn for your song, dear.
Song. I'm not a singer. I'm a model, darling. The only number I could do is walk on and walk off.
Well,
Do
that's
few
a
turns.
beautiful title. Sing
Should
it.
I do it?
Yeah.
Sing
Walk
it.
on and walk off.
Sing it.
I'll just do this walking.
No, just sing that. Sing walk on, walk off. That's my number. I'm just a model.
And what will I get for it?
You'll get 100,000 a month at least.
100,000 a month?
Yes. So do it.
Walk on, walk off, walk on, walk off, walk on, walk off, walk on, walk off. Do I get the part?
Oh, that's very avant-garde and David Amram. Oh, that really, that really will do it. John Cage will write in and everybody. I think you're in.
But you're not
in.
even writing, darling.
Well, now whose turn? It's your turn now. Well, you can do a Beach Boys number.
No,
Come on now. All right. Give us the Beach Boys number, Puck.
No, I was going to sing this one. Please, Mr. Wagoner, I'm hungry and starving. Please, I want some more. Please, Mr. Wagoner, I know you've got it in the bank, and it's going to be a goner when you sign it over to me.
I'm finally convinced. I'm making out a check for all of you. All of you. I mean, not just you hanging on the cable there, but everyone in the world. For everyone in the world, I want the Daily News and the Times and the New York Magazine and the Post and everyone to get this. I'm making out a check for the whole world. I love the world. And so I'm making out a check
For how much?
for $3 billion for everybody in this wonderful, terrible, crazy 42nd Street world. Now, who do I give this to?
Give it to me. I'll take it. Come on. I'll take it on the car. I'll take it.
I want to give it to the Emperor of Japan. He hasn't been in the news for at least a month. Is the Emperor of Japan here? There you are, Hirohito. Would you come over and accept this check for the world?
But darling, that only means
No.
that it gets down
Give
to
it to
$1 per person.
Well, a buck is a buck. You know?
I'm taking up with this fella.
Buck
See you
is a
later.
buck. Let's
See
face
ya.
it. That's the way to get rid of wine. Make out a check for charity. You can write it all off, and you still have your trust, which is $4.5 million. It's not 6 like Rona said, or 500 grand like I. It's $4.5 million. You don't think I'm stupid, do you? Those 6 years, that Albert
Never
Hall,
did.
that Albert Hall concert alone.
I followed your
You know, the English are so honest. You just run out the back door with the cash. They say, oh my, why did he do that?
Oh, he's a weird bloke, he is.
And then you
A bit above
then
that.
you wear this psychedelic jewelry through customs, and you can get the whole cash out the customs because they think you've got dope, and they look in your bag and they see hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, but you're in the dope section of the customs, and all he's looking for is drugs. So you get out with the millions, and the poor guy is left there stunned that he could find no drugs. That's how we made England bankrupt in 1968 about. So it's you and me together on Catalina. Forget Santa Barbara, and
We'll be yachting forever.
you know, I don't trust that young driver in the American Family on NET who keeps crashing cars.